Well, good morning, my good friends. Jets fans around the world, unite in brotherly and sisterly love for the intentions. Huh? We heard some intentions, and we're all excited about it. What happened on the heels of those intentions is we started to hear things like two firsts, right? We started to hear things like, it ain't me that's holding this thing up. It ain't me, everybody. Call me a diva if you wish. It is not me, it is them. So we have a lot still unfolding here for us, but nonetheless, we are excited, and I think rightfully so. Good morning, everybody. I am GreenBean, and this will be our New York Jets free agency update stream. Man, we have lots of stuff. I got to say, man, look, every year we dig into the free agents, we make predictions, right? We say, all right, well, maybe we can lose these guys and we can sign those guys, and these guys maybe won't get signed till after this. And we do all this stuff, predictions. And every year, you guys know me in particular, I have a focus on comp picks. It's one of the areas of interest for me. And sadly, I haven't had many nuggets to chew on over these years because the Jets haven't received any, right? Well, this year, what we did before the season, guys, was we looked over the free agent list, potential free agents. Who are the Jets going to re-sign? Who are they going to let go? And which ones are likely to be signed within that comp pick window where they'll apply to the formula? Now, I have to admit, there are players in here that I didn't feel confident would be signed until after the window. Excuse me. But man, we have a whole slew of dudes that are gone. I'm not sure if you heard, but we're also losing the Mullet today. The Mullet. Who knew? So that's two linemen, guys. Two linemen are gone out the door, and we will see how this works. Big Green's in the house. Good morning, Big Green. Duncan Lloyd hanging around. I know, yeah, we'll always have content. What's the one thing we are not lacking over here, huh? UK Jets fans, see, from around the world. There we go. What's up? Nice picture, man. I like that. Looking good, looking sharp over there with that green beard. The main catch is back. That's right. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Oh, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. I'm happy to do it. Kareem's here. He's upset. Is an emotional question. I don't know what that means. But it is. I think it is. Soldier's here. Joe Smalls is here. Finnegan's in the house. Racing Jason. Jets forever. All you guys are here. It's a good morning for us to discuss free agents, maybe even dip into the draft conversation because, look, if we don't address it in free agency, we got to address it in the draft, right? There are things going on. Now, I think one of the positives this year so far is that the Jets were able to get a trade going, right? We got a trade for a safety. So we thought safety was going to be one of our big free agent needs and or the draft, maybe even both, right? We thought that. So Joe Douglas pulled together really out of nowhere. I don't think many people saw this coming. We pulled together a trade for the safety from the Ravens, Chuck Clark, one of the more sure tacklers in the NFL, which I sad to say, we had a top 5 defense in many metrics, but tackling was a weakness of ours. We had 2 players, both missed 17 tackles. Now, one of those guys we re-signed and the other one's under contract, so we don't know where it's going to go. Maybe we wait till the draft and we end up cutting him if we could, if we can fill the position or whatever. But currently, Chuck Clark is paired with Jordan Whitehead. A little bit of redundancy, but Chuck Clark has been known to play both strong and free safety. So who knows? That could be the way they go. But it's going to be really interesting today. Obviously, the biggest news is Aaron Rodgers, right? That's the big one. And we heard it was a huge announcement yesterday. Huge. Huge, huge, huge. Jets fans, reaction videos were everywhere. I was in the friggin' dentist chair when it happened. Is what happens when you make appointments 6 months in advance, you know? I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? What's happening? Is it happening? And I'm getting my teeth cleaned. So I didn't make a reaction video. So technically speaking, this could be considered my reaction. I'm happy. I'm happy about that. I like the way that it was presented, right? Isn't that nice? The way that it was presented, my intention is to play. My intention is to play for the New York Jets. Come on. That's just a good collection of words. It sounds good. It's nice. And it takes some guesswork out of it. Does he want to be here? But doesn't mean it's done. And that's the thing where I think a lot of Jets fans might be getting ahead of ourselves. It's not done. And if Green Bay is going to hold on to this 2 first-round pick thing, which is being rumored right now, 2 first-round picks, then I don't know if Joe Douglas is going to do it. And we talked about this stuff all offseason. We talked about it all offseason. I don't know what's going on with my charger, man. It just doesn't want to stick. It's like doing the back and forth thing. Come on, baby. So I don't know. Look, we talked about it. Would a first-round pick be good? Yeah, everybody said, of course, we give a first-round pick for Aaron Rodgers. And slowly but surely, it started to become. I don't know what's happening with my charger. Slowly but surely, it became like, of course, we're not giving a first-round pick. Why would you give a first-round pick? You don't have to give a first-round pick. Then it started to become a second-round pick and a conditional next year. Then it started to become like, I don't know, man. I'm seeing these past couple days a fourth round pick should get it done. Like, I don't know how that can be. You guys know I've maintained the entire time, while I don't want this to be the case, I'm fairly certain it's going to be at least a first round pick. I just don't see it. Multiple MVP, Super Bowl winning quarterback. I don't know. You know what I mean? I just don't know how it can be less. Now, I do understand why the conditional pick the thing, because if he only plays 1 year, you're not going to get caught in a scenario where you're giving multiple firsts and the guy's gone in a year and you don't have your picks next year and all that shit. I'm with that. And I don't think you should bend. But when we talked about it just a couple weeks ago on the Thursday thick of it, it was like, okay, if we're willing to give a first and they're just holding at us at another one, like, do you draw the line? Do you end it? Say, nope, goodbye. I'm going to tell you something. Our backs are kind of against the wall. We're talking about leverage, right? We're talking about leverage, Arbiv. Who's got leverage? Do the Jets have leverage? How do the Jets have any leverage? I don't know. I don't see it. Everybody's saying the Jets have all the leverage. How? Everybody's gone. Carr's gone. Jimmy G's gone. Even Sammy and Baker are gone. I mean, like, who's left? Who's left? I guess Minshew, but he's probably going to stay with the Eagles. I don't know, unless you blow his doors off with a. I don't know. I'm not saying Green Bay has a ton of leverage. They've admitted that they don't want him, but they could just keep him. Right? I guess. Arbiv checking in. Thank you, buddy. He says, assuming the second and third quarterback will be developmental, why not start fresh by finding one in the draft? Trading Zach is best for him. Well, Arbiv, I would say there's a few variables that come into play there. One is who wants him, right? What are they going to give for him? And is that worth giving up on a kid with that much potential? I mean, if you're going to develop somebody, you're developing them based on their potential. Upside, we call it, right? Who's got more upside than Zach Wilson? I mean, we know he crashed and burned, but who's got more upside as far as like a mid-round pick or say late round pick? Like, which one of these guys has more upside than Zach Wilson? You heard Aaron Rodgers say yesterday about Hackett. He's a stud from Aaron Rodgers' eyes, you know, developing quarterbacks, drawing up schemes, calling plays, the whole thing. So maybe Zach Wilson is in good hands. And again, if you're talking about developing a guy for a year or 2 years, who's got more upside than Zach. Now, the whole thing with the fan base and the tainted feelings and the team might have not like him. Yeah, okay, all those things are a part of it too, and you got to pay attention to that stuff. You can't just shoehorn a square peg in a round hole, so to speak. You can't just do that, right? And say, no, we're keeping Zach, even though the whole team hates him or something. Like, let's say hypothetically, all the skill guys just can't stand. They don't even sit in the same room as Zach. They don't like him. Then why would you do that, right? You don't want to, force an issue. But again, if we're talking about developing just based on potential, sure, Zach Wilson crashed and burned, but it was all up here. It wasn't like all of a sudden his arm was weak. He just couldn't do anything. He's stuck. You know what I mean? So that's my feelings, because if you're going to get a trade, if somebody's going to say, hey, I'll give you an X pick for Zach Wilson, they're assuming the contract, right? So that's $9 million this year. So who's going to take $9 million for a backup quarterback that can't play? So they would have to believe he could either start or he could be a number two. So I don't know. There's a lot there. You know what I mean? And then to just close on that, my feeling would be, if we are going to keep Zach, then he's your developmental guy. You're kind of stuck. You know what I mean? That's my thoughts on it. So it's interesting, Arbiv. Now, if somebody comes and says, hey, we like Zach Wilson, a la the Panthers with Sammy, we'll give you a second round pick and a fourth and a sixth, or anything. You go, oh, okay, well, this is an opportunity. Why waste my time developing Zach? I can clear the contract, get that $9 million back, or whatever's left after the bonus and all that. So you get that back, and then you lose the potential of him crashing and burning for you if he's not developmental, and then you get the picks. So I think they would consider it if it comes, but I don't know how many teams are going to do it. We just burn the hell out of the damn Panthers with Sammy, man. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Part of that got Matt Rule fired and Joe Brady. So Joe Brady first. UK Jets fan checking in with £1.99, they call it, right? Or almost £2. £2, UK Jets fan. I'm learning, right? £2. You're my beard guru, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Right, man. Well, we're a little bit different styles we have, right? But we're in the same club, buddy. Definitely the same club. So let's take a look at our free. I just want to go through the comments, and we'll take a look at our free agent list, see where we are, see who we think is next, and go from there. Stephen Ingalls says, "Don't believe the bullshit reports about it not being close. Media is clowns." Yeah, I'll take that. I just like again, like we've talked about, Stephen, their smokescreen is very, very real. Teams they leak things with intention, right? They leak things with intention. So if a New York reporter gets a little drip from the secret guy that they have an in with, but Joe Douglas said, hey, leak this over to Rich Cimini and let him say this. And then they gauge how the response is, and they see everything, what's happening when this news breaks. They do that. And then the other thing is it creates pressure, right? It's like when Marcus May's agent released all that stuff. He wrote that anonymous thing about remember they did that article about the best or worst GMs, and he was the anonymous guy, said the Jets have the worst GM in the league. Why did he say that? Well, he used the same, he didn't tell us it was him, but it was the same exact words that he did when he released it to Ian Rappaport about the way the negotiation. He used the same wording. That's how you know it was him. So he's out there bashing Joe Douglas, trying to get the fans upset, to put pressure on the organization to pay his guy. Joe Douglas never caved, and then look how it worked out. He ended up losing Marcus May, I think it's $7 to $9 million, something like that. Crazy. Should have just taken the contract, and we'd still have Marcus May. Granted, the DUI stuff came out and all that shit, but it would have been easy. And that guy made less. Remember, he said Joe Douglas is offering us 80% of blah 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 blah, and then He ended up getting less than that. The 80% would have been 7 to 9 million more over the length of the contract. So anyway, that's the kind of stuff. So of course, I think you're right. Some of this is absolutely posturing. But again, I just never thought it was all that realistic to believe that it wasn't going to be at least a first, maybe just one, maybe a third this year and a conditional first next year. I don't know, but something like that. I mean, people were getting nuts this last week. It's not going to take, it's going to be a 4th round pick. I was talking with people. I said, a 4th round pick? That's kind of what we got Favre for, right? So I think that, I mean, that's the basis for it, I would think. But I don't know. I just didn't see it. Now, again, Steven, I'm rooting for the least amount of compensation possible. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I think there's some reality to it. I mean, or else it'd be done. You know what I mean? What's up, Ron? Good to see you, buddy. Love me some Ron Luizzo. That's right. Talking sense, baby. Don't do it in the comments, Tony. My email is in the description. Just open underneath the video. It says some words and it says show more. Click that show more. A whole thing will open up, and then you'll see for contact. Email me. Just email me your information, and I'll send it over. Don't put it here. And then all these freaks, man, like Stephen Engel, right? And J-Mac. You want J-Mac sending you, going to your house. Right? What about Dakota J? You don't want him hanging out of your house, man. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe they're all great. They bring a covered dish. Maybe. Who knows? I want to send it out, though. That much I'll tell you. Bang Mateo, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Do you watch games in the 757 area? I'm in Hampton Roads. Do I watch games? No, if I'm watching a game, I'm watching it at my house, right? So, or going, like I'll either go to the game up there in New Jersey, or I'll watch a game at my house. That area is about 3 hours from me. You know what I mean? It's not easy. So I would go to the last 2 years. I went over to the Virginia Jet Fan Club with WA2K, and that's in Newport News, which is kind of similar, right? There's 757 out there. But it's tough. You know what's really tough? Because both times I went out there, I drove the 3 hours, watched the game, we lost, and I had to drive 3 hours. The 3 hour drive after a loss sucks, because then you don't even want to listen to the radio. I don't want to listen to anything. You know what I mean? I just want to be home. And it's not going to happen. It's going to take 3 hours. So anyway, not often, Bang Mateo. Not often. All right, let me see what else we got here, and we'll go ahead and get this up. I'm real happy that you guys are here. Jets King is here. Blaze is here. R&R is here. He says it's time to party, man. Well, not yet. Not yet. Almost. It's almost that time. I get nervous, man. Anything can go to shit. I mean, it's like getting celebratory about Anthony Barr 3 years ago. Rob Broadhead says Chris Sims and Green Bay were acting like scumbags. You know what? I have to admit, I watched a few like Monday Morning Quarterback and a couple other just quick things. And I got a feeling too that all of a sudden the sentiment kind of changed toward like a negative toward the Jets and Aaron Rodgers for that matter. Like all of a sudden, yeah. And you know what it was? They said, like, you know, his comment that he went into the dark retreat, he was 90% going to retire, 10% going to play. He came out of the dark retreat and he heard that the Packers were planning to move on, and now he wants to play. So what does that tell you? Two things. One is that their feelings toward him, he wasn't controlling it. Like, if I leave, it's like breaking up with somebody. I hate my girlfriend. I'm going to break up with her. Oh, she's breaking up with me. Please don't leave me. You know how that shit happens? It happens, man. Believe me, I've been there. I've been there in my life. I don't even like her. And then she leaves me for this guy, and I'm miserable. It happens. So I think there's some of that going on, which is a negative, guys. It is. Now, the other side of that is that you're getting an Aaron Rodgers that's spiteful, that wants to make them pay for not wanting me. I'll show you, so to speak. And that's positive, but how long does that last? Now, Aaron Rodgers with the chip on his shoulder thing, he did that his whole beginning of his career. Remember, he expected to be the first quarterback taken in that draft with the Niners. He was from the area. It was a perfect situation. He wanted to be a Niner, and they picked Alex Smith. And then he sat in that draft for the first round. Every team passed on him. Hold on. Yeah, it passed on him. So then he got picked late in the first, in the late 20s, right? I don't remember, 26, 29, something like that, by a team that didn't need him. So then he knows, not only did I just get passed on by everybody, now I got taken by a team to develop. So I'm not going to play. I'm behind Brett Favre. So he was pissed. Remember that? He was pissed. His whole beginning of his career was to show the world that he's upset, that he can, that he's better than they considered him. So that's great. So that motivated him. Then when they drafted Jordan Love, what was his response? 2 MVPs, back-to-back MVPs, man. So he has done well with that. Like, getting like motivated that way. Like, oh yeah? Like he's proven up to this point that this particular style of motivation works for him. So we be getting that guy, but is that 1 year? Is that 2 years? Is it 3 years? Are we just getting a 1 year rental and he's out? Like, we got to know this, man. Like, we bought into this shit. Everybody wanted him. And, and it's fine. Like, he was the best quarterback on the market, no doubt. Okay. Jimmy G is quality. It has his injury thing. Derek Carr is quality, but has that potential limited ceiling thing or whatever. Aaron Rodgers, the downside with him is year to year, you don't know what he's going to do. And he could very well just decide, I'm out. I'm 40 years old. I'm out. So you built everything and he's gone. So that's real. And we can't be going through this whole process and be upset now. This is what we wanted. We made our bed. Just buy in. It's the deal, right? You know what's coming. You know it. The Jets Show checking in. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. I think we should trade safety Whitebread to Green Bay in the A-Rod package. They don't have Amos anymore, and we can draft a safety in the second and third round. Well, obviously, that's possible, right? Like that could be part of it. I wonder, Sauce was talking about the packages, and I don't think it's unrealistic to think that there won't be some sort of package deals involved, like players. But I don't think, think about this. We throw in Jordan Whitehead and Corey Davis. That's now, what are we paying Jordan Whitehead this year? It's like 11 million or something like that, right? And then Corey Davis, that's 21 million bucks that they would absorb or inherit, let's say. So is that worth it for them? That's the whole thing, Jet Show. Now, it'd be interesting because we just brought in a safety. He could effectively replace Jordan Whitehead. So you're kind of in the same situation going into the draft. Now, word is the Jets tried to make some moves, right? We had some interest in some guys, namely Fletcher Cox yesterday, but we're kind of we're batting 1,000 right now, really, other than Alan Lazard. The Jets have come up empty. We had we wanted the center from the Niners. He stayed with the Niners. We wanted Fletcher Cox from the Eagles. He stayed with the Eagles. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's hard to, you're talking about successful organizations and they're showing interest. It's not like they don't want them. So it's hard to coax somebody away from a team that's successful and is interested in them. Similar money, even though if we're paying a little bit more. It's like, you know what? I don't want to uproot everything. So it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. And I understand that. I don't look at it as a shot, negative necessarily. But that said, if it worked, we'd have a center and an upgraded defensive tackle right now and a potentially an upgraded safety, and everything would be different. But we don't. So we got to figure out what the hell we're going to do. And I don't think Joe Douglas is I don't think Joe Douglas is panicking or anything. This is why FM, sometimes I try to consider what FM's talking about as legit, and then he does this. It's like, this is, like when it's called showing your ass. You know what I mean? That's what it's called. Like you do something, you try to come across as maybe I'm legit, and then you show your ass. And everybody goes, oh, all right, well, that's what he is. He's trolling, all right? Mark from Asbury Park, Kiss had a revenge tour back in the day. Now Rodgers will. Yeah, baby. That's what we're hoping. I'll tell you that. That's what we're hoping. And if it's like, imagine we get a guy that's like uber motivated, man, like fucking 6,000 yards. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Like really, that'd be great. That'd be really, 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 really great. All right. Hold on. I want to get to the, I see Bang Mateo with the Kiss comments. You guys are great. Look at this thing. I'm sorry about the charger thing. It's just not, I don't know what's happening. It's just going on and off, on and off. I never have this problem, really. Every now and then it just does this. I don't know why. I know that's what I mean. I'm trying, but that's a stupid comment. You have to know that. I mean, if you put LOL, okay, then he's just busting some balls. But come on, what is that? Trade Sauce for Hopkins. Yeah, that makes tons of sense. We got the sauce. What's up? Hey, GreenBean. Love the show. Did we get anything back for losing all these free agents? How does the compensatory picks work? All right, well, let's do that. That's what we're going to do. I didn't miss anybody, right? I got the Jet show. Let me just make sure here. I don't want to miss anybody's anything or like member comments. You guys, you want to get your hands on the new emojis and some free super chat action? You can join the Stream Beaners. The join button's right below the video here. It's greatly appreciated. It helps the channel. And again, YouTube's weird, dude. They limit what I can give you guys until I hit certain milestones. So I think it's 6 or 7 more subscriber members, and then I can add more emojis. I just added the one that they gave me, which is this one right here. I'll put it up there. This one. Boom. Facebook finger for you. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to get the Jets free agent list up right now, and we'll talk about compensatory picks, okay? I'll try to explain that as best I can for people who are interested, and maybe some people don't quite know. And so we'll get into all that. All right, here we go. So these are the Jets. I pulled up the Jets free agents. Hold on. Come on. All right. All right, here's where we are. So you can see these are the ones that have anything done. Now, we'll get to this list in a minute. This is who's left, all right? And we can talk about which guys might apply. So far, the only guys that we brought in, and by guys, I mean guy, is Alan Lazard, 4 years, $11 million per, $44 million, 22 guaranteed, right? Essentially, it's a $22 million contract. Essentially. And if we want to keep him in 3 years, who knows? Like, let's say Lazard is lighting it up. He's given us 60 to 75 receptions a year for 800 to 1,000 yards, in addition to Garrett and Moore and everybody. And we love him. $11 million in 3 years is going to be cheap. So you might just want to keep it, right? So there's that. So, but look at the guys we lost. So that's +1. Or -1, I mean, as far as compensatory picks. That means we now have to lose one guy to get back to 0. All right. So we did, though. We lost Nathan Shepard. Now it's a similar but less. So he's getting $5 million a year. So that can wash it out. It can. But total guaranteed is $10 million. But this one, Sheldon Rankins, is more likely the one that'll wash out Alan Lazard. Okay, so they both got 10 million a year. Say 10.5 and 11. So now we're plus 1. So you see that? So let's just say these two cancel each other out. Now we're plus 1 toward the comp pick. And what that means by plus 1 is if you lose more free agents than you sign, then it can factor into the comp picks. You can get a maximum of 4 unless you have the coach or GM thing where one of your minority coordinators gets a head coaching job, or if one of your staff members, minority staff member, can get a general manager job, the NFL will award you 2 third-round compensatory picks, which are at the back end of the round, right? That's where compensatory picks fall. So if you get a third-round compensatory pick, it's after all the regular picks, all right? That's how it goes. So then we lost Sheldon Rankins. So now we're plus 1. Then we lost James Robinson, which, by the way, if it ends up being a comp pick, it's worth what we did last year. So you gave away a 6th. If you get the 6th back, you see it? It's all a wash. And he helped us beat Buffalo. So there's that. I still think we should have kept him, but maybe they didn't like him. Maybe he was a jerk. He said he was all pissed off. Remember that? I'm pissed. Why are you pissed? You just got here. Shut up. I'm pissed. Maybe that's why they don't want you in Jacksonville. You're pissed. Then we lost Nate Herbig. Now, I put a poll in there, guys. Please answer the poll question and we'll get to it. Which one of these guys are you most upset about? All right, which one of these guys? So we lost Nathan Shepard, Sheldon Rankins, James Robinson, and Nate Herbig. This is the one for me. For me, I'm most upset with Herbig. I wanted to keep him, man. But I understand. Look, he got a 2-year, $8 million contract. It's not a lot of money, but it looks like he's their starter. All right. Now here, not necessarily the case. AVT comes back. Laken Tomlinson's here. So he's going to be back up again unless there's an injury. So he wants to start, man. How does he get above this contract? If he's going to get a contract worth more than $4 million a year, he's got to start. All right. But this is good money, good for Nate Herbig. He earned it, but I wanted him, and it sucks for us. Then we lost Mike White. So look at this. We're plus 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we are plus 4 in the comp pick formula. I want to tell you guys, this is the first time that we've looked like this in a long time, since Idzik. We haven't looked like this since Idzik with plus this many. So then we lost Mike White. He got $8 million a year. This will more than likely, this is the 4th or 5th round range. Okay, 8 million or so. It could be 4th, it could be 5th, depending. All right. So, wait a minute. I confused that. I thought it was 8 million per. It's not. It's 4 million per. What's his guaranteed? All right, I misread the Mike White thing. I thought it was $8 million per. It's 4 million. That's all right. That's probably sixth round, maybe even 7th compensatory pick. All right. So then we re-signed Solomon Thomas, so that doesn't do anything one way or the other. Then we re-signed Greg Zuerlein. That doesn't do anything one way or the other. Hold on. Just checking the chat here, see what you guys are saying. So those they don't matter because they're our own free agents, right? So that's you don't have to worry about that. So then we lost Jeff Smith. He's another one, restricted free agent, but free agent nonetheless. He counts, and we just didn't extend him a tender. That's the option. We could have had a right to a first refusal for him. So he gets a $1 million contract. If he ends up being the guy, then that's a 7th round all day. If he's the one, and he might not even get one, right? So now today we're learning that Miami, the Dolphins, the team that took Mike effing White, they're grabbing the mullet, the bastards. He's going to go down there right to South Beach. That's what he's going to do. They're going to love him. They're going to be like, oh, I love this guy. You'll see. So look at that, guys. Currently, we are plus. Remember, this one washes out. Okay. We got plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are currently plus 6 in the comp pick. So what that means is if we sign 2 more guys, we're still +4, which is the max that we can get. So if we sign 2 free agents, which is going to happen, I mean, we're going to sign some people, I would imagine. We're waiting on this Aaron Rodgers bullshit to end to see what it is that we have money-wise. We don't know. How much is Green Bay going to eat and so on, right? DVR with me on the Herbig thing. Yeah, it's tough, man. Sue Cyrus, too. Yeah, Cyrus Rubin says Herbig was my vote. Incredible offensive line depth piece. That was a great signing last year, and we knew it. Just so we know, we cut Van Roten pretty much as soon as we signed Herbig. As soon as because we would have kept Van Roten around. If we couldn't get depth, we were going to, look, we signed Laken Tomlinson. Dr. Blocker was gone. We had ABT and Laken. But we would have absolutely kept Van Roten if we couldn't fill that backup role. Like, why not? He's an NFL player. He's weak for us, but you at least know he can play. And as depth, that's what you're looking for. So when we signed Herbig, that was the signing that allowed us to get rid of Greg Van Roten, and that's the way it went. All right. So look now, again, right now, if the Feeney thing does in fact happen, we don't have the confirmation yet, I don't think. Let me just clean up some stuff here. We don't have the confirmation quite yet, but let's assume that it's happened. We are +6, which means in order not to get any comp picks, we would have to sign 6 guys in free agency before the window ends. Let me double check here. I can't remember. Wait, when does comp pick window end? 2023. Let's see. 16 teams. When the Bears get who has the first round pick? Let's see here. Let me see if I can find the window for you real quick. If anybody knows, throw it in there. I just forget which date it is. But there's a window. There's like a 1 month window or so, maybe a little bit more. And the free agents that are signed in that window count. And then once they don't count, anybody that you signed, once the window passes, anybody that you signed won't count plus or negative. So what happened to the Jets the last few years, guys? We lost free agents, but they weren't priority free agents by other teams. So they kind of waited till the window was closed, and then they signed them. Like last year, I think we got 3 or 4 guys signed right after the window closed. So if they don't feel like other teams are going to sign them away, then they'll wait. All right, let me just see if I can, and then we'll go into our next guys. What are they? The 23 draft, the formula, blah, blah, dee, ba, doop. I'm just going to see. I'll check let's see if you guys, maybe Dom C knows. I see Dom in here. What's up, buddy? Dan Klein, just so we're aware, these comp picks, whatever happens this year would apply to next year. So we don't get any comp picks this year. I can look. I mean, I'm 99% on that. There's always the comp pick formula. They keep it somewhat convoluted. Like, about, most of the formula, but they for whatever reason, they haven't released it in a firm, understandable document. Most, but there's always wiggle room for them to do or not do something. It's weird. So let me see. Free agent, special comp picks, bumpy holdings to the team. Those comp picks fall in the best. For example, let's see. Single draft. Conversely, fewer. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. So, all right, there are 30 comp picks handed out for this year, though, too. I'll show you this. Let me get this off, and then I'll show you this real fast, and then we'll go back to that one, okay? And we'll take a look at the other free agents for this, for what we can lose or not lose, okay? So here we go. Here's the full breakdown of the 23 overall draft comp picks. Dan, I'm going to take this off. Ronald Perry says F. McGovern. Just make sure we get that in. Right, Ron? So we got the Cardinals get a third. So here's how it starts. It starts with 96 overall. Cardinals get 1. Commanders got a third. The Browns got a third. 49ers got a third here. Look, the 49ers got a few, though. They got 2 thirds. 99 and 100. I'm sorry, 99 and 102. So the Chiefs got 100. So they got one. The Patriots always seem to get one, but this is where the fourth round starts. So the 49ers look like they got the most thirds so far. So they get two. They got 99 and 102. The Cardinals, Commanders, Chiefs, and Browns wrap it up. So those are the third round compensatory picks. Those are valuable, dude. Getting third. There have been years where the Patriots got 3 extra third round picks and then like a fourth. The Patriots get 2 to 4 picks every year. They've mastered it. They've mastered it. Like, think about that, guys. Like, we get all, we're in a good mood and happy if we have an extra third, if we have an extra second or whatever. The Patriots have had extra thirds, fourths, fifths every year. If we go through it, I can pull that up too. It's insane looking at it. It's like, what? And in the meantime, we've had 1/6. All right. So the fourth round looks like this. You got the Pats, Rams, Cards, Cowboys, Packers again. Oh, no, Packers, Rams again, Giants. Oh, there's a fifth round. So I'm sorry. Fourth round, only one. Patriots. There's only one comp pick in the fourth round. Now, the fifth round, we got the Rams, Cardinals, Cowboys, Packers, Rams, Giants, Niners. So that's their third comp pick, the Niners. The Patriots are working on 2. The Rams got 2. Raiders, Bucks, Cowboys again, Rams. That's 3 for the Rams. Patriots again. See this? Vikings, Cowboys again, Cardinals. It's all the same teams over and over, man. Raiders, Commanders again. Here's the Niners again. So there's their fourth. So the Niners got 2/3, a fifth, and a sixth. That's what the Niners got. Not bad, dude. In addition to their regular draft picks. Not too shabaloony. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. So here we go. Now here's the 7th round. So the 7th round is usually where the most of them ended up being 6th and 7th. That's just the way it goes. So you got, let's see, 7th, you got Rams again, Bucks, Niners. Wait, the Niners got 6. You want to know why? That's right. I forgot. The Niners got 6, and I'll tell you why. You can only get 4 comp picks as far as players go. But the Niners got the head coach and general manager picks. So they get that shit too. So that just kind of steamrolls and applies no matter what. You don't get those pushed away because they earned it. That's a part of the new deal about, minority coaches and or staff, personnel people getting head coach or general manager jobs. It doesn't apply to coordinators. I'm 99% on that. I told Harry I'd look it up last night. I didn't. I will, though, today. I promise. But anyway, that's what it looks like, man. So look at all those guys. And look at this guy. He's like, ooh, huffy puffy. He's working hard. But anyway, you got all these guys, all these picks, 30 in total, none of which were the New York Jets. New England. I want to show you this. Look at this shit. Recent history of compensatory picks. Let's take a look. I hope this is the article. Let's see. How does it? Well, let me see. This is bullshit. It's supposed to just lay it out for me. Yeah, we know. All right, this is not the one. This is not the one. I want it like a grid. I want to, let's see, updated history. Let's see. If I can't find it real quick, I'm just going to get off this. Trust me, it's a lot. All right, here we go. So look at this. In 2000, so this is a couple years old. This article was written in 2019, but this will still give you they've gotten them every year. So here's this. 2019, they had 4. Excuse me. 2 extra thirds, a 6th, and a 7th. 2018, 1, a 4th. 2017, 1, a 5th. 2016, a 3rd and 3/6. 2015, a 3rd and a 7th. 2014, a 4th. Look at this. There was a 3-year period, but they didn't get any. Look at that. Magical. 2010, they had a 6th and 3/7. 2009, a 3rd, a 5th, a 6th. And then it goes from there, right? Look at it. 2007, a 5th, 2 6, and a 7th. But like in the meantime, guys, the Jets have had, I think it's 6 in the past 15 years. 4, 5, or 6. You know the Idzik 12? You know how we say the Idzik 12? That's because we had 4 additional compensatory picks that Idzik won or was awarded by cutting all the guys, all the dead weight, or allowing them to leave. It's not cutting people, but it's allowing your free agents to leave because Tannenbaum kind of, he sold the future for the present. So there was all kinds of contracts that he had to clean up. Idzik did a good job cleaning the team. He just didn't add anything to it. Very little anyway. Magical, Jennifer. So anyway, you can see it. Like, look, 3, 5th, 7th. It's just crazy. Where's the Jets? Let me see. Anyway, let's see the New York Jets. Let's see if they have this article out there. I don't even know. New York Jets comp picks by year. Let's see. Compensatory picks over the cap. Let's see if they got it. Yeah, they got this is just this year. And you see how they did it? You see what they're doing? So they're not counting Smith, like I said, might not, right? But look, Dan Feeney's up here to be determined, right? So we don't know. But Sheldon Rankins and Alan Lazard is exactly what I was telling you, right? So it washes out. If you want to keep checking, over the cap does a good job, guys. If you don't use over the cap for numerical stuff, it's a disservice to yourself. They're the shit, man. I remember when they first started, Jason used to come on Jetnation. He was just a little upstart. He used to come on and break down stuff for us. They would reach out and go, "Hey, Jason, can you come on and tell us what this means?" And he would come on and tell us stuff years ago, man. Now he's over the cap. He's the biggest. So gained 1. So they're saying we're +3. So let's go back to the other thing now. Thank you. GM Bean. Right. I'll tell you what, where I lose it though, and you guys know this, I'm proudly and confidently say this. Like once it gets into like breaking down numbers, I lose. I don't have that brain. It just fucking fizzles. I go, I short circuit. As soon as we start talking about, contractual numbers and everything. Let's see this. All right, wait. Anyway, all right, let me get you to this other page now. We'll get back to the NFL for the New York Jets free agents. Okay. Don't forget, guys, if you're here for the first time, subscribing to the channel is greatly appreciated. It's how we grow over here. It's the only way we can grow, really, is hitting that little subscribe button. And if you wouldn't mind, if you're enjoying yourself, give me the milk thumbs. Give me these little thumbs up. Give me those. That helps the YouTube algorithm a great deal more than you'd think. And again, if you would like to join the stream beaners, the join button's right there. You get free emojis and monthly free member super chat and all that jazz. And again, it supports the channel, guys. I'm greatly appreciated, especially if you're new here. It's great. So, all right. So here we go. So they counted Shepard, Rankins, Robinson. They didn't count Robinson or Herbert Robinson. Yeah, they didn't count Robinson for some reason. I don't know why. Let me see. Which he should be counted. So if they're not counting restricted free agents, because he was restricted as well, maybe they're not. Maybe the restricteds don't count. I thought they did. As long as you didn't extend them a tender, I thought they counted, because if you just let them go. So Robinson and White, that's the 2 that they're not counting, which got me up to the number that I got to. All right, so let's take a look at this now. Who's left, right? We know what we did. So we have a plus in the comp pick. We have a plus in the comp pick formula for the first time in a while, guys. And believe me, I pay attention to this every friggin' year. There might be like that one day, where we do. But no, look, last year we came out of the gate. How long did it take us to get our first free agent? 40 minutes? Lake and Tomlinson? Boom. So we were already -1, just like that, before we even started. But boom. So Berrios to the Dolphins too, is that right? Well, he's a cut, so he doesn't count. Berrios to the Dolphins, Mason is saying. Makes a ton of sense. That's where we thought he'd go. I mean, obviously we thought he'd go back to the Patriots too. But Berrios has no allegiance to the Patriots. I mean, they're just a team that drafted him, and Bill Belichick liked him. But going to Miami makes a ton of sense. So that's another guy we lost. Now, again, not a free agent. We don't get anything for Berrios except the $5 million that we didn't spend on him. All right, so let's get down here. And again, we're looking at Feeney. So Miami essentially took Mike White, Berrios, and it looks like Dan Feeney. All right, that's really interesting. So look at these guys. Now, two of these guys right here, actually a bunch more, but up top, two of these I thought were absolutely, if we didn't re-sign them, they were absolutely going to count toward our comp pick formula. That's George Fant and Connor McGovern. Now, Connor McGovern, they might end up choosing to bring back. The center contracts are lower than we thought they'd be, these free agent centers that are out there. But the Jets wanted Brendel from the Niners, it seems. Those are the rumors, even to the degree that Aaron Rodgers had a chat with him. He chose to stay with his team. All right, he chose to stay with his team and do it that way. All right, so I mean, it makes sense. Just like Fletcher Cox, it's if you're going to coax them away from the team that they're playing for, two things got to be present. One is you have to give them a better chance to win. Right, that's one. If that's not the case, then you gotta give them more money, man, and significantly more money. If it's like, $8 million a year over here, 8.6 over here, and they get to stay, but they're gonna, a lot of the time it just stay. I mean, shit, the Philadelphia Eagles were in the Super Bowl last year. The Niners made it to the championship game and only lost because, well, not only, but they lost because they had numerous injuries to their quarterbacks. They were on their fifth quarterback, and he's not even a quarterback. He's a fucking running back. So you got that. Yeah. So the Berrios thing sucks, man. He'll be their returner, Kevin, and he'll earn a spot. Berrios is a good football player, man. But they have a lot of receivers in front of him, I think is what you're saying. Yeah. He's a good football player, though, man. Let's make no mistake. Just because we didn't want him anymore, we valued the money, and we saw the yips happen, and we don't know if he's going to shake that off. But Berrios is a good football player. There's a reason we all wanted him back last year, and it wasn't just Zach. That's part of it. But all right, so let's look. George Fant, what is there? This is Spot Track, everybody. Another fantastic site. There's 3 sites that are out there that you could use mainly for free. They do have pay sections that they give you even more in depth, and that's Over the Cap, what we were just using. That's the contracts and numbers, man. There's nobody better, unless you're looking at Spot Track. Some people prefer Spot Track. In some instances, I do as well. This is Spot Track, and the other one is Pro Football Reference, dude. They're collected. You don't really need anything else. PFF, this, that. You could go anywhere you want. Football Outsiders, all great stuff. But those 3 sites, largely free, and you're going to get more than you need at those sites. So look, George Fant's market value. Let's see what that looks like. $3 million. So if it's $3 million, what a sad situation for him, huh? Last year, his market value, guys, was like, I think it was 13 million, 14 million, something like that, at left tackle. He had a very, very good left tackle season in 2021. As we all know, he filled in for Becton starting in game 1. He played all year for them. I think he missed the last game or something. But he was projected. Remember, we were trying. Now, you know what's funny? Joe Douglas had been trying to extend him all year. They were talking. We heard numerous times that the Jets are in talks with George Fant's agent. We didn't offer anything that they considered acceptable. They wanted to go out into the free market and see what he's worth. All right. But I would be willing to bet it was in the $9 to $11 million range. You want to bet? Now his market value is 3.3 per Spot Track. And that's because he played like shit at left tackle, had the injury, missed most of the season, came in at the end and played right tackle. While he was good, he was not great. Right? He was coming off the injury. He was good. but he was not great. So his value plummeted. And you add to that, man, he's not young. He's 30 years old. He's going to be 31 this year, like before the season. When's his birthday? It says he's 30 years and 247 days. So what does that mean? Who's smart in here? What day does that make his birthday? If today he's 247 days into the year, when's his birthday? Come on, who's got it? Leo Vernacchio checking in. Hey, Greeny, my understanding is that Rodgers won't be a Jet until after June 1st due to negotiations being sticky. If so, will that impact free agents? Well, I saw that too, right? It's a significantly different cap ramification the first or after June 1st. But the whole thing with that, and again, admitting it's not my area of strength. I lose it. I defer to others. I go, tell me what it is. But from what I understand, the reason that it's less after June 1st is because then it spreads. It doesn't go away. You know what I mean? It doesn't go away. It doesn't disappear like the 50 million versus the 15 million or the 35 million or whatever it is. It doesn't go away. It just, they get smeared over. So it lasts longer. So I don't really know if that's a true benefit or not. I think the sticking point right now, Leo, in my opinion, and again, they haven't called me to sit in the negotiations in a few days. I haven't been there yet. I haven't heard anything. They haven't called me in days, dude. So I haven't been involved. But what I can say is, from my vantage point, it looks like two things. One is obviously draft compensation, and that might bleed into player, right? So whatever the compensation is. The other piece, I guarantee Joe Douglas is weighing the draft pick versus how much of the contract they're willing to pay. There's no fucking way I'm giving you 2 first-round picks and eating $67 million of dead cap over the net. I'm not doing both. You got to pick one. And then they go, well, the Raiders signed Jimmy G, so they're out. So who's left? Who's left out there? Well, you have the Colts. The Colts might want him, right? The Commanders might want him. Who'd they take? Did they just take Brissett, right? Didn't the Commanders sign Brissett? So he's off the market. So like it's getting slim pickings on our end, but it's also getting slim pickings on their end. But the thing is, they could just decide, hey, you know what? We're going to keep our Hall of Fame guy. So what? We push Jordan Love another year. What's the big deal? Jordan Love goes, well, and they go, sorry, buddy. You're under contract too. Sit down. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, again, we know Joe Douglas to be somewhat of a shrewd negotiator, right? That said, he's also a very well-respected general manager. Great relationships. So he's not out there kicking doors in or anything like that. You know, don't forget, man. A few years ago, he took care of the veterans, the high-quality veterans that we had on a losing, sinking ship. Guys like Steve McClendon, he sent him to the Bucks and gave him a Super Bowl ring. Avery Williamson, he sent him to the 9-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. Jared Willis, he sent him over to the Niners. Chris Herndon, he sent him up to the Vikings. Now he got compensation, but like, you know, the Avery Williamson, it turned a 7th into a 5th. That's what he did with that one. And Steve McClendon, dude, it was nothing. He was like a 7th round pick. He gave them Steve McClendon. So he did that as a service. So he put that positive juju out there, man. So, you know, it's like, it's not just Joe Douglas screwing people over. He's got a good rep. He does things the right way. So, but that said, I just highly doubt that he's going to go, all right, here's 2 first-round picks no matter what he does next year. So theoretically, he could say, I'm not playing more than 1 year, and then I still got to give you next year's pick, plus eating 4 years of salary cap. I'm just not of dead cap. I'm just not doing it. I'm not. Like, let's be real here. And they're saying, look, he's a multiple-time MVP. You got Hackett. You know, it's all going to work. We're giving you this amazing quarterback. He's hungry. He's this. He's that. We want this. So it's going to be interesting. Now, the June 1st thing, if that matters, then we'll see. It would really suck to see it drag on that long, Leo. So the second part of your question, yeah, I think it would impact free agents. Yeah, Billy, you got it right, dude. Now that it's like official that he said, I want to play for the New York Jets, all the haters came out. Did you see what did by the way, I would never, ever, ever watch Colin Cowherd. He's just the worst. Like he's an obvious troll, right? Obvious. He says the stupidest things and people get nuts. But there was something out there that he said the Jets are like, even with Aaron Rodgers, we got worse. Like it ruins our franchise. I see it on Twitter. I scroll. I'm like, oh my God. People are arguing about it and everything. Don't pay attention to these guys. Like they're just trying to get you upset. So look, so there's George Fant, right? So we don't know if would you re-sign George Fant for $3 million? I don't know. I might as depth, right? As the guy. You know, you look and you say, dude, look, both of these guys were injured last year. There's a good chance you're going to play. I don't know. I might do that. He knows the team, right? He's a good dude. The team loves him as far as the players and everything. So then we got this guy, Connor McGovern. Let's look at his market value. And I don't know if it changed since all the free agent shit started happening, but it was 13 million or 12 or 13 million. There it is. So they're saying $12.5 million. I don't know, guys. I don't know if that's accurate. 12 point, especially because these guys, like, what did Pochik get? He got 8, right? Didn't he get 8? I think he got. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so I think he got 8. So would you give now if Connor McGovern comes down to 7 million? Would you be willing to sign Connor McGovern for a year, maybe 2, and then use your 3rd round pick on a Weipler? Yeah, I think that's a great scenario. And then you literally let him battle it out in camp, man. If Weipler beats him, so what? You let him beat him, you know? And if not, you got a kid groomed on your team to take over for next year. That's what you got. And you got a veteran in front of Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. So Dom C says Pochik got 3 years, 18 million. So what's 3? That's 6 million a year. Even better. And I thought he was he was the guy I wanted them to target. That was the guy. Dom C with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Bean, the true deadline is September 1st. Right. September 1st. GreenBean has to fork up the $56 million bonus for this year, and his contract guarantees for 24. They would incur a $99 million dead cap hit for 24 if they try to move on then. You fucking believe that? Look at that. So that's 56 million plus 99 million. That's $155 million if they wait till September 1st. But here's the thing. Here's the other thing, Dom. Yes. So that's the literal brick wall, right? That's the Derek Carr thing. It's not exactly the same, but very similar. They could do anything they wanted to do, but by this date, if you don't do it, you're losing this much money and $7.5 million for 2024, the Raiders would. So this is obviously much bigger than that, but very similar. So that's the real deadline. But wouldn't you think that giving Jordan Love his first time starting ever, wouldn't you think that the Packers would love to get that extra pick, whatever it is, if it's a second, if it's a first, if it's a third, whatever it is, wouldn't they want it now so they could give this kid everything possible to succeed? Because you know damn well the magnifying glass is going to be over here in New York on Aaron Rodgers, but there's going to be only a slightly smaller magnifying glass going like this over at Green Bay. Did they make a good or bad move? If Jordan Love comes in and shits the bed, and you heard the way Aaron Rodgers said it yesterday, this was put in motion in 2020 when they drafted Jordan. And he spoke very glowingly, highly of Jordan Love. It's fine. But let's be real, he said. That's when this started. The only reason that it didn't And then is because I came back with back-to-back MVPs. They couldn't. How do you get rid of that guy? Look at his coffee mug. Isn't this cool? Look at this thing. Isn't this awesome, man? I love it. You stick your hand in there. Anywho, so right, Dom C's got a great point there. Ooh, Wat2K's in the house. What's up, Wat2K? Rivka's here. Hey, Rivka. Good to see you. Yeah, she says it. So the center market has been depressed this offseason compared to Spock track expectations. It's very, very true. Now, what did Brendel get? Now, he re-signed. Word on the street is that he took less to stay with them, with his team, than it did that the Jets were offering more money, but we don't know how much. Sean is here. What's up? From Scotland. That's where my ancestors are from there. Sean, what a great day. Rodgers inbound, go Jets. Indeed. Again, it'd be nice. It would be really nice, guys, if we could get the news and it actually be the news instead of just like, yay! When's it going to happen? You know what I mean? Like, that's how it goes with us. All right. Back to the free agents. What happened? Here we go. So there you go. So you got both of these guys are realistic to think that they will get signed in the window. If George Fant is only commanding $3 million out there, somebody's signing him, dude. I'm telling you right now. And therefore, he would count toward the compensatory pick formula as well. Connor McGovern would count. Now, again, maybe we re-sign one of those guys, fine. But if not, both of these are legitimate candidates to think that they will get signed in the window, during the window where it will count toward the comp pick formula. Now, who else we got here? We got Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is tired and old and all the things. But what if someone starts him? Or I'm sorry, signs him. Wat2K checking out with 4 years, $20 million for Brendel. So that's $5 million per. Sheesh. Dave the Dude checking in with those numbers too. He says 4 years at $40 million or four. So which one is it? That's a big difference. Dave and Wat2K. Rivka saying 5.5 per year, right? So we're a little bit off there, everybody. A little bit off. What's it say? I could find it right here. You want me just to fucking find it? Let me see. Let's see here. Let me see. Dave said I'm wrong. What a good guy Dave is, right? They said, nope. I own it. Good for Dave. Hey, man, we all do it, right? We all do it. Shit. As much as I talk, you know how wrong I am a lot? Never. That's right. You heard it. Never. I'm wrong all the time, buddy. So it's all good. Brendel would have been nice. I agree. Dom C. But I can't knock him for wanting to stay in San Francisco. They're a legit team in his home. Exactly. It just makes so much sense. So, like, what were we offering when you say more money? Were we offering 10 and he stayed? That's disrespectful. If we're offering 6, like, hey, man, we'll give you 6.1 to come over here, 6.2. And he goes, I'm getting 5.5. I'm going to stay right here. My family's here. Everybody's here. We got a fucking great team. We got unfinished business, that whole thing. Makes sense. It's tough to get guys from winning organizations unless you do what McCagnon did, which is how much are they offering? 12? That's the highest linebacker contract in the league right now. I'll give you 17, baby. How's that? Oh, yeah, I'll come. All right, so let's take a look at this one. So now we got Joe Flacco. That doesn't seem realistic to me. It can, but I don't think anybody's signing Joe. And if they do, it's more than likely going to be after the window because they don't want him to count against their own comp formula. Do you see it? Everybody's factoring this in. Like Joe Douglas said, I think it was his first year here. They asked him about comp picks, and he said he's worked with people who wouldn't sign people They would literally not sign a player at the risk of losing a comp pick. And he says he understands that, but he doesn't value it that way. He wouldn't refrain from signing someone he thought could help the team just because he loses a comp pick. He said he values them, but only so much, right? So every team is looking at the comp picks, man. You'd be stupid not to. So if they're looking at Joe Flacco and they're like, oh, he's going to be around, I'm willing to risk it. I don't want him so bad that I'm going to sign him and lose out on a comp pick. That's how they see that. Who else is now? LaMarcus Joyner. Let's see what his market value is. LaMarcus Joyner's market value is $4.1 million. Really? More than Fant? I don't know, guys. He's 32 and 117 days. Did anybody tell me how old Fant was? Anybody? Let me see. Trying to see it. It's a lot of comments, you know. I don't know. I don't see it. Anybody do it? I didn't see it. I missed it. I'm sorry. If you did it, thank you. I missed it, obviously. Blade Runner checking in. Says media is pissed that Aaron Rodgers shut them out. Now they're going to make it their mission to ensure the Jets pay a premium for him. This is why I hate the media. Exactly. The media is no longer reporting the news. That's not what they do anymore. There's very little of that going on. The media is the news. They want to be the story. That's what they want to do. They want to be the first one to have it. They're willing to forego confirmations to be the first one to say something. You see Adam Schefter tweet, or maybe that was fake. That one was fake. But it happens all the time, man. These guys will say something. Hey, it's what sources say, blah, blah, blah. And then an hour later, you find that's not real at all. Okay, my source said it was. And then all the damage is done. The melee, the hubbub, the money. It happens. Now, Rivka reports. Rivka does a good job. She's not out there making herself the story, right? You ever read Rivka with JetX? She writes good stuff. You got to look over there. JetX, they're not beholden to the clicks and everything. They have a membership model. That's the way to do it. They're beholden to you, not to the clicks and all that shit. So, but that's a great point. Think about that. Aaron Rodgers consciously shut everyone out. Schefter, Rappaport. He said, lose my number, right? And he gave it to Pat McAfee. McAfee, his friend, somebody he likes, trusts, respects, gave it to him. That's where the news was broke. Now, we don't know who will get the official news of the contract or the trade itself, because that's going to be agents and all that. But I bet Aaron Rodgers says to his agent, don't give it to them, dude. Don't give them, you can do whatever you want with all your other clients. Don't give them my stuff. And if you do, I'm getting a new agent. It's that simple. So I'm sure that they would respect that. But that's a great point by Blade Runner, dude. They were shut out and they don't like it. So now everything about it is going to be negative spin. And that's what you're seeing. It's everywhere. The negative spin is everywhere, guys. But thank you, Blade Runner. I appreciate the super chat and the comment. It's a great comment. It really is. Joe S. checking in. Hit that like button, support the channel, and ignore the hater. Who's the hater, Joe? Colin Coward? Yeah. Right, man. Hell with those dudes. Hell with those dudes. You know, like, look, it's one thing. Like, there are guys that are good at it, right? They present stories, arguments that you can kind of tell. It's like, all right, well, the reason they're talking about this is because it's gonna cause some hubbub and get some clicks and make some money. That's all well and good. But then there are guys like Colin Coward who says something that is so blatantly dumb because he knows that 2 million Jets fans are going to immediately respond. It's almost like we're marionettes. You know? He goes, watch this. I bet he's done that. Hey, Chris, watch this. Hey, John, watch this. Buddy. The New York Jets should trade Sauce Gardner for a 4th-round pick. That's what he's worth. Send, and everybody goes, "Ah, you fucking kidding me, you motherfucker!" And you laugh. They go, "Look at this." And we're all susceptible, of course. Yeah, here comes my Miami fan friend. There he comes. Here he comes. Berrios 2. Watch out, Miami Jets. Watch out, Miami Jets coming to get you. Yeah, he's playing with it. Here they come. Yeah, I'm going to laugh. Ha, ha, ha. Feeny 2, buddy. I'm going to tell him Feeny 2. The Mullet is coming to South Beach. There it is. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Doesn't take very long. I got friends, you have those good friends with other teams, man. Doesn't take long before they bust your balls. All right, what else? So let's say, LaMarcus Joyner, I have to admit, I don't see this happening. $4.1 million seems crazy to me. The block button, Jeff, I don't block anybody. You guys can, though. Yeah, I get it. I don't block anybody. I mean, if somebody's going to, pollute the chat, I block it for you guys. I'll block people like BYU Jets fan. Remember that guy? Holy shit, dude. Get out of here. Fucking guy. So I block him, but I don't block anybody. I just choose not to read it. I don't subscribe. It's like Samini. I don't follow Samini. I don't follow these guys. I don't follow Colin Cowherd. The only reason I see it is because they'll either do a hashtag or somebody I do follow retweets it. I don't follow many, man. And it's not disrespectful toward anybody. I have very little interest in what a lot of people are talking about. It just is what it is. So I want news. I try my best to get facts, and then I'll make my own fucking opinion. I don't need everybody's opinion. You know what I mean? Then I'll talk about it with Ryan and Matt and Dom and Jeremy and Gunny and all the, Frankie. That's who I'll talk about it with, though. And you guys, I'd rather talk about it with you than listen to, what's that guy's name? Stephen A. Smith. Dude, I haven't watched that guy for more than 30 seconds in years. The last time I sat down and really watched a full clip of his was the Adam Gase he looks high thing, because I agreed. He looks high. He looks high. I said, yes, he does. And thank you, somebody's saying it. At least somebody's saying it. Because look, that's where I come from. That's my world, dude. Drug addiction, the tendencies, the behavioral traits, all that shit. That's my expertise. And I looked at that within 5 seconds. I thought to myself, what's up? And after okay, for a second or two, he's a little bit nervous. The fact that the whole thing, no way. He's on something, buddy. Now, maybe it's prescription or whatever the fuck else. He's on something. Don't tell me he's not. He is. But other than that, I don't watch Stephen A. Smith. I have zero interest in Stephen A. Smith's opinion. He's been bashing the Jets forever, and then this year he likes the Jets. Come on. All right, so let's go through the list. LaMarcus Joyner, I don't know, but I guess he could be. Now, would you sign LaMarcus Joyner if he comes back for 1.4 and to be backup, to be depth? Sure. He should not be our starting safety, though. No way. And he did play well at times last year. I mean, game-saving stuff at times. No doubt. But he's very sporadic. He's very streaky, and he's injured all the time. So, and he's old. You want to bring him back as depth? Sure. I like it. $4 million? Nope. But then he might get signed. So he's him now. Look, we're looking at Fant, McGovern, Joyner. Quan is getting signed. Here's the only thing I'll say about Quan Alexander. This is in his mind. How old is he? He's coming around the mountain here. He's 28, right? He's 28 years old, and he's had numerous injuries. So last year, he signed a cheap contract, man. What was it? 1.2 million, something like that. I forget. I could look. Let's see what he earned last year. Yeah. 1.2. Look at me. Hey, look at me. Hey, all right. 1.27572 million. So he signed that because nobody wanted to buy into the Quan Alexander contract thing because he was hurt all the time. Nobody's going to argue about him being a good football player. He's good. The problem with him is that he's hurt all the time. So he played for us. He lasted all season. So he's going to try to parlay that into an actual contract, man. He's going to try to get them to pay him. This might be the last time he gets a real contract, like not just, bottom of the barrel type stuff. He's looking for that, maybe what Quincy got. He's looking for that $5, $6, $7 million, I bet. There's my buddy, Night Stalker. Yeah, we were just talking about that, man. You're down there in let me call it West Hollywood. You're down there. You're going to see all the people talking about it, Night Stalker. So Quan Alexander is going to want to get a contract. So, because he made it all year, but the thing is, it was the Jets' usage of him that prolonged his season. Now, he was used, I think it was 45%, 48% of the snaps last. Let's look. Hold on. Let's take a look-see. Let's take a look-see. Statistics. Let's see what he played. Spot Track's not going to have it. Does it have? Oh, yeah, look. Look at this. 49% of the snaps, the defensive snaps. 65 tackles. He played well, man. 65 tackles, 40 solo, 1 forced fumble, a half sack. He played less than 50% of the snaps, just less. So that's the thing. If somebody's going to sign him, are they going to give him $5 million to play 50% of the snaps? If they're intending on playing him more, there's the very real risk that he won't make it through the season. So this is the thing. Quan Alexander, in my opinion, is absolutely signable. But will he get signed before the window is going to be contingent upon his willingness to take less than he wants. I don't know if he'll do that. We'll see. And if he is willing to go less, I guarantee the Jets have an offer for him out there. Say, look, man, we'll give you $2 million. Go out there, see what you want. See if you get what you want. More power to you. We fully support it. Let us know if you're willing to come back for $2 million. Stay here. Stay with us. I bet. Yeah, Hennessy says 2 years, $5 million. So that'll be 2.5. So that's the thing. So he might count against it, right? Now you got Vinny Curry. He's 34 years old. He's going to be 35, I think, at the season. I feel like, yeah, he's going to be 35 years old. It's my opinion that he's going to retire, right? So he probably won't count. Cedric Abuye. Now, I think he's signable, but is he going to be somebody that's signed before the window? Probably not. So we're kind of running out here. Remmers, probably not. Bawden, Drew Samia, who I liked. I think they should bring him back. Excuse me. And Greg Sinnat, actually. But they've been here for a minute on our practice squad, and you like to see those guys brought back. You like to see the guys that you're developing actually make it. It's rare. It doesn't happen all the time. Practice squad guys, more of them don't make it than do, of course. But you still like to see it. If I had to pick one, I liked Drew Samia more. But anyway, and then you got Ty Johnson here. Ty Johnson, what about him? He's a 25-year-old running back. What did he make last year? $965,000. So he might get signed, but again, I don't think he's a priority. Because look at his statistics. He played 28 8% of the snaps. Oh, no. He played 14% of the snaps last year. He has 25 rushes for a buck 48 with a 5.9 yard average, 10 receptions for 75 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. So is he a priority? Probably not. So really what we're looking at, guys, is this. Right now we are +3 per over the cap. We are +3 because it looks like Robinson and Jeff Smith won't count because they are restricted free agents, which is new to me, by the way. I thought that they counted as long as you didn't extend them an offer. Like if you just let it walk, it counted. But I guess not. I guess it's purely unrestricted free agents. So it makes sense. I get it. But so what we're looking at here is we're +3. Fant, McGovern, Joyner, Alexander are the ones that are going to give us the potential. So arguably, we could be 3 + 4, 7+, which means we have to sign less than 7 more free agents to get a comp pick. That's what we're looking at. Okay. So who do we want in free agency, right? Who do we want? I think we want to try to find a center, whether it's McGovern or not. McGovern re-signed. He doesn't count against the comp pick formula. That's nice to know. So maybe they bring him back. I don't know. Because with McGovern, while we all feel like it's time for an upgrade, you do know what your floor is. You know what I mean? You know it's not going to be, Spencer Long. You know what I mean? So, So that's who's possible to get signed. You got Fant, McGovern, Joyner, Alexander. Of course, any of these guys could. I doubt it. Because again, the reason that teams would sign a guy now is because they prioritize him. They think he can help the team enough that they don't want to let somebody else take him. That's what they do. If not, they'll just wait till the window's over so they can have their comp picks. That's what it is. And other teams, like sometimes teams need so many people that they just know they're not getting comp picks, like us. Like we knew we have $100 million and we got to fill 12 positions. We're not getting comp picks. Just go out there and fucking just go get them. Doesn't matter about the window. Just get the guys. You know what I mean? Night Stalker checking in. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate the super chat. He says, Bean, who's going to blink first, the Jets or the Packers? Well, it all depends on where we are, right? Like how separated are we? I mean, we heard the other day that the deal's worked out. It's Aaron that's not doing it. Now, Aaron Rodgers comes out and says, it ain't me, bro. I'm ready. I said I'll play for the Jets. That's what I said. I even went and talked to Brindle and Lazard, and I gave him a list of other players I might like, which he said too. I didn't give him a list of demands. What are you talking about? Right? So it turns out that it's Green Bay that's holding it up. So what are they holding it up for, right, Night Stalker? So if they're going to say, we want 2 firsts, and the Jets are like, dude, we're talking about a second and a conditional pick that could be a first next year, depending on 2 things. If he plays next year and how we do this year, if we make it to the championship game or plus, or maybe it's even playoffs. If we make it to, the second round of the playoffs and he plays next year, then you get a first. That kind of a thing. So I don't know. I think when they look at their cap, again, I don't see them against the wall like a lot of people are saying. A lot of Jets fans are like, bro, they have 0 leverage. I don't see it like that. And again, I've said the whole time, I struggle with the idea that we're going to give them less than a first round pick. I struggle with that. I'm totally fine with giving them 13. It sucks. I'd much rather give less. But if it's 13, just fucking give it and let's go. Get them over here. Let's end it. If they're holding on to that, like I always thought we were going to have to give that. Again, I'd prefer not to. Of course. But it probably has to do with money, man, and and all that. But I think that the Packers will break. That's what I think. They're going to look at that like Dom C said. I mean, granted, it's all the way in September. They're going to why are we dragging this out, dude? Let's just get. I think they want a pick for this draft. That's what they want, and they're not going to get it if they push it past April. And we don't really have a rush, right? Most of our team is here. Yeah, sure, we want to get this guy or that guy. We already got Lazard, so we got one. We got Chuck Clark, so we got a receiver, we got a safety. We have our draft picks. All right. We're +3 in the comp pick thing, so we'll get 3 more picks next year. But it's we're already doing some positive things. So I don't know. I think ultimately, though, Night Stalker, it'll be the Packers. That's what I think. And we'll get him for a 4th. That'd be great. Solomon Thomas re-signed. Jay Spector. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, look, the Jets were going for Fletcher Cox yesterday. We learned that. The Jets were close with Fletcher Cox. He chose to stay in Philly. Okay. Same thing with Brendel. It makes a ton of sense for him to stay there. He's been there his whole career. And they were in the Super Bowl last year. So why not? And they're, you know what I mean? And they want him. So why not? I don't know why he would leave. So that makes sense. But then it just so happens that in the same day, Jay, we lost Sheldon Rankins, who I think the Jets wanted to resign, and Nathan Shepard. So we lost 2 guys, and the guy we were hoping we'd get to upgrade them, the reason that it was okay to lose Rankins is because you were going to get Fletcher Cox. He didn't come. So that's kind of losing 3 guys. So you got to have some continuity. I think Solomon Thomas, while I wouldn't call it a panic signing, I think it was in their mind necessary. We got to keep one of them. You can't have an entirely new interior. You got Quinnen, of course. Well, we got to re-sign him. We got to, extend, do that whole thing. But we got to do that, and we have to, you have to keep some continuity. Now, it sucks. I think Solomon Thomas was the weakest of the bunch. I do. But I was kind of done with Shepard, right? Weren't you, done? Go to the draft. Get some young muscle in there, man. Use your mids and get some beef. That's all you got to do. Get some run stuff and beef in there. The pass rush will be taken care of elsewhere. And just get some guys to clog up that middle. Keandre Coburn. Any of those guys. And I think it'll be good. See what else we get. I see you guys were asking about who else went to Miami. Well, we didn't sign anybody, Phil. But we lost some people. We lost Berrios today. We lost Dan Feeney, it looks like, today. Both to the same team, the Miami Dolphins. So, again, so this is what it looks like, okay? This is where they went. Nathan Shepard went to New Orleans. Right here. Sheldon Rankins went to the Houston Texans. James Robinson went to the Patriots. Nate Herbig went to the Steelers. Mike White went to Miami. We re-signed Solly. We re-signed Zerline. Jeff Smith went crosstown to the Giants. Dan Feeney went to Miami. And Berrios, while he's not on this list because he's not a free agent, he wasn't an unrestricted free agent. He is a free agent, and he got signed with the Dolphins as well. So there it is. That's what we got. That's our update. Yeah, so it's totally. Siaki Ika would be great, but I think you're going to have to use a much higher pick on him. Yeah, there are 2 Connor McGoverns, and they're both interior offensive linemen. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun, doggo? Yeah. Dom C says the biggest mistake that the Packers made was not entertaining moving on after the 21 season. Denver would have given them the Russell Wilson deal. Oh, yeah, totally. You're 100% correct. 100%. and they would have been dancing in the streets. They would have had, and they already had their quarterback. Think about that, Dom. Instead, here we are. That's where they made the mistake. Totally. Rob agrees. Dr. Phil says goodbye, Nathan Shepard. Right? He's gone. Brandy Lewis says, with all due respect, the Jets want Rodgers, but they do not want to pay for him. What is this? UNICEF? Well, I think, paying for something and getting raked over the coals are two different things. I mean, I think it's good. Like, there's no real rush, right? Really. Just like we were talking about the other day when, 12 noon hit on Monday. By 1 p.m., Jets fans had lost their minds. Where the fuck is bullshit? I hate him already, right? All that kind of stuff. So, I was talking with people. I said, look, this is only the negotiating period. It's not even really free agency yet. Yes, they could make arrangements and deals, and yes, but nothing really changed. Nothing really happened. It's only a day, 2 days. But for us, it's been 3 months. So we're freaking out. Now he comes out yesterday and says, I plan to play with the Jets. Now we're saying, what the fuck? It's been forever. Oh, that's 24 hours ago. So there's no real rush unless there are people saying, I'm not coming, that want to come, that you want. And they're like, I'm not coming because I don't think you're going to sign them. Then there's an issue, right? But I don't see that. I think that most people, if they, they're not stupid. They see, he just announced on Pat McAfee, that's where I'm going to play. And the Packers have said in so many words that they're moving on. They allowed the Jets to go meet with him out in Los Angeles, whatever the hell they were, at Lucky's Bar and Grill. So again, it's like, if there was a rush, then yeah. And they're going to pay something, of course, but there's not the same urgency that we feel in reality. It's not real. And the Jets could say, okay, man, we'll just sit back and go. I'm going to work on some other things. Here's my offer. It's a strong offer. Here's what I want. Here's what I'm expecting from you. And I can't do that. So just, look, man, let's talk about it. I'll be over here. Go think about it. Have yourself some breakfast and let me know what's happening. Overpaying always leaves a bad taste. Indeed, Phil. And it ruins good things. You know what I mean? Like when you get something that you wanted and you overpaid, and like when you sit down later and the buzz is worn off a little bit and you're like, you get what's called buyer's remorse. That's never good. That's never good for anybody, right? Tyler L. What have I been saying all off season, everybody? Tyler, what have I been saying? I'm not convinced Braden Mann's going anywhere. I mean, they might still if they need the $1 million, maybe. But you got to think, are any of the guys that are coming out a definite improvement? And are you saving? He's only $1 million. So the thing is, while I'm with you, and I think Braden Mann is just very inconsistent, the truth is, go take a few minutes, Tyler, and just look over the punting stats for last season. And you'll see, by most metrics, he's a top 10 punter, dude. I mean, and that's what the Jets are probably seeing. They know the difficulties, But, and I'm not saying he won't be cut. I think if he is, Tyler, it's probably going to be after the draft. If they grab one, if they end up getting like the best punter in the country as an undrafted free agent, okay, different story. But why cut him when you don't need to? You know what I mean? I'm not convinced. I think Braden Mann might be our punter next year, guys. I've said it all off season. Maybe not, but I don't feel, I'm not picking up the same thing everybody else is. And then, most of the people I talk to, like on Twitter, I'll get into these discussions and I just say, okay, well, what about this statistic? And they go, oh, I don't know. Well, take a look and see what we think, because it's not exactly what we're feeling. La 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 la. Let's see what else. I'm going to go to a couple more comments. Hank, what's up, Hank? Checking in. Thank you, buddy. He says Connor Hughes has a take on this on his Twitter. He says that the Packers and Jets had loosely agreed on compensation, but now Packers want more. He called that Bush League behavior. Oh, and that's kind of the vibe that Aaron Rodgers was putting out there, right? Like, I don't know, they're kind of being difficult right now. That's interesting. Let's check it out. We'll go to Twitter and see what's going on. Let's see. Odell Beckham is seeking $15 to $20 million. Good. I hope that he is. So I don't fucking want him. And I don't think Joe Douglas is paying that. All right. Let's get to Twitter here. We'll share some Twitter action. So there it is. That's the free agents comp picks. I hope I did a good job explaining it and taking a look so you can see where we are. That's where we stand today. In an hour from now, it could be the totally different. We could sign 12 guys and be -5 in the comp pick form. Right now, we're ahead. Right now, the way it looks, if it were to stay the way it is now, we would qualify for 3 additional draft picks next year. None of them would be a third. You might get a 4th out of them. You might. Probably 5th at the top. All right, let's see here. Okie dokie smoky. Here's Twitter. Look at the most fun place in the world. Twitter. All right, let's get to Connor. Let's see what Connor's doing. All right. There he is. Okay, what's he saying? It's a matter of when, not if, the Jets get Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be the team's quarterback next year. Okay, there's that. I don't see it. I'll be honest, when it's an announcement when he's happening to trade. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it, buddy. Oh, here it is. He says the Packers made the decision to move on from Aaron Rodgers before Aaron Rodgers made the decision that he wanted to move on from Green Bay. Now, with a clean break in sight, you drag your feet, do right by the player, and get the deal done. So Connor Hughes is coming out on in favor of us, on our side, right? That's good to see. Michael, this is funny. Look at Zach Rosenblatt. Michael Clemens and Aaron Rodgers meeting for the first time. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it. Oh, so there goes. Okay, so there you go. I mean, I don't know. See if there's any news. Let's see. Dylan Terraman, our boy from Jetnation, he helped us out with the beanbaggers last night. I know it sounds silly, but I'm just going to say that as I enter my 20th year on turn, happiest I've gone to slow. He's just talking about it. Happy birthday, Dylan. Happy birthday. I don't know. What else? It's kind of, yeah, you're surprised Green Bay said they want more. The only surprise Aaron is surprised. There you go. He's trying to piss off Jets fans. All right, Schefter chiming in. The Green Bay Packers aren't going to be in a rush to get something done until they feel like they get sufficient compensation for the player that believes he is the greatest player in Packers franchise history. He didn't say that, by the way. You see, Schefter, you can sense it. A little snarky, a little snark, a little bit, a little tiny bit snark. Did you see it? That he thinks. He didn't say that. He said it's up for debate. That's what he said. I'm in there. He said, I'm in the conversation, but he's not. A little bit snarky. There's Jake eating some wings. Look at Jake. He's doing the wing thing. I know. Leave Zach alone, right? He had to say that. Little Zachy Poo. Look at him. So sad. Where is this? This looks like it's in Carolina, so he lost that one. But I'm going to make that dude's life hell in practice every day. I know he's got to say that. You know, he's got, what's he supposed to say? He's got, his head is spun around. His head is spun around, guys. Poor little fella. Now it sucks because, you know, we wanted him to win. He sucked ass, but geez. All right. I know. Well, what do we do with the comp picks? Well, we never had any, right, Phil? So we have to learn. The last time we had comp picks, I'm fairly certain was the Idzik 12. That's what I think. John Idzik figured out a way to get 4 draft picks. The highest was a 4th, I think. So poor Zach. Let's see, I'm looking over the comments. I know it is, Max. I feel the same way. Like, yeah, we got to leave him alone. You know what I mean? He's got to say that. Something like that. He's got to. Right? He's got to. I'm going to make that guy hell. No, you're not. We know that. He's got to say it. All right. That's about it for Twitter. Twitter's a bunch of speculative baloney, right? You know that. It's Twitter. There's some news on there, of course. It breaks on there, but not today. Ain't going to mean nothing. Let's see what else. I'll look at a couple more comments here. Watch Carter be sap. Oh, yeah. He's great, dude. If Carter slid to 13, which he won't, the Jets will take him. They will. Exactly, Jordan. I know all the people coming out now and they're like, it's called kicking somebody when they're down. Like, we know. We did this already. We don't got to bring it up. I guarantee Zach. Yeah, I know. Everything they say is taken out of context, and you know it lives forever. Everything you just say a comment. Remember the thing when he said no, and they blew it out of proportion. He said, "You feel like you let the defense down." He said no and walked away. What they left out was the rest of the interview where they asked him that question 3 other times. Maybe not exactly the same. Did you think you let this guy down? Do you think you let your offensive line down? Do you think you let your receivers down? You think it? And he answered it in constructive ways, and he got sick of it. He's upset. And he said, no, fuck, I'm done with this interview. Get out of here. And we took that clip. They went, oh, so sweet. And they chopped his head off with it. Sucked. And then Saleh said it. He said, look, I know it was taken out of context, but he sucks to say, but when we're up here, we got to know. You're taking bullets. You got to know. You got to be better up here. It's just the way it is. Yeah, we didn't have a good teacher, Duncan. That's a great point. That's the way. To a good teacher. Look, and Aaron Rodgers spoke very highly of Hackett and his ability. He said there's no way that he was hired specifically to drag me over there. Jets 830 says, GreenBean, if we sign OBJ, is that a slap in the face to Garrett? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's a slap. I think it's an add-on. Nobody's taking anything from Garrett Wilson, man. You know what I mean? Like, he's a stud. And he's going to be open all day like he is. And if you have a quarterback that can see him, he's going to see him open all day. And he's going to get it the damn ball because he also knows that just because I hit him over here doesn't mean that's where he's going down. He's going to go down 44 yards that way after making 3 idiots fall on their face. Whose birthday is it? Phil? Phil who? Phil Adams? Oh, you're 6. There it is. Hey, congratulations. Happy birthday, Phil. Happy birthday to Phil Adams, everybody. Give him some fire emojis for his birthday. There we go. Let's get a bunch of fire emojis for Phil. Happy birthday, my good friend, and just very consistent supporter, man. He's been here since the very, very beginning. He's been here the whole time. We talk on email, and if I may, you see this right here? Phil, let me move Fireman Fred here. His fucking head. So you have this thing right here. It's called the Jets Jack. Matter of fact, you know what? Nobody ever claimed the one that we gave away. So I still have. There's only 5 of these in existence. Phil Adams, who turned 63 today. Look at all these fire emojis, Phil. That's all for you, buddy. He designed and made that. And we're going to give one away tonight on the Thursday Thick of It 8. I'm going to show you. I'm going to open it up. Hold on. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. I'm still here. I promise. Here it is. Let me move the chair. Here it is. Brand new. So there's only 5 of these in existence. Here's the 5th one. Look at this thing. So you got all the Jets logos. It's the British flag made into the Jets, right? And where he's from, Stoke-on-Trent. So that's what you see there in the middle. This is amazing. Isn't this gorgeous? Only 5 in existence, everybody. I'll give away the 5th right now. Frankie's got one. Jeremy's got one. I got one. Phil has one. And you will have one. There you go. We're going to give it away tonight. We're going to give it away tonight on the Thursday Thick of It for Phil's birthday. I gave it away. Somebody won it before, but they just, it happens. Nobody claimed their t-shirt last week too. So it happens all the time. Happy birthday, Jets Jack, designer, creator, maker, sender, Phil Adams. Happy birthday, buddy. Leo checks in. If things get ugly, could have Rodgers have said, F you, I'm retiring, then come back later to join the Jets? Favre style, then Green Bay don't get Jack? No. He's still under contract. It's like you just saw it recently with fuck is his name, man? The tight end. Tom Brady's buddy. I want to say Janikowski, but that's not it. The tight end. For whatever reason, he's slipping my mind. You just saw it with him when the Bucs wanted to sign him. He was retired, but if he comes back while his contract was still in effect, they had to give the Patriots, I think it was a 4th round pick. We saw it with Bruce Arians too. Bruce Arians was the head coach of the Cardinals and retired, and he wanted to come back a couple years later and play with the Bucs. He was still under contract, so they had to give him draft picks. So that's how that would have to happen. So technically, no. Look at all these happy birthdays for Phil. Oh, I love it. Look at all this stuff. Slaugo, fullback, bought in, is a free agent. So he's not on the team anymore, but he's not signed elsewhere yet either. So he's out there. Phil wants to know, how do you do fire? Phil, here, I'll show you. It's going to get weird in here in a second, okay? I'm going to show Phil how to do the fire, though. Okay, you ready? It's going to get weird. Wait. All right, so here we are. Here's the show. How behind is it? How behind is it? Is it behind? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so look at it. It's going to keep going. It's weird now. All right, but Phil, here's what you do. Okay? You see this right here? Here's the chat. So you hit this, Phil. Hit that. Whoop. And all kinds of things are going to come up. You find fire. I don't use it much, so I don't. Where is it? It'll come up somewhere. You look for it. You could put French fries up there if you want. Here's French fries. Lollipops and shit. What's this? Here it is, right? Is this the fire section? Lightning bolts. I probably passed it already. You know how that goes. But this is how you do it, Phil. It's in here somewhere. You got to look for it. And once you start using these things, these emojis, then they'll put the ones that you use up top, like in the front, so you don't have to do this every time. Like this one. So those are the special ones. Those are the GreenBeaner emojis over there. I don't see the fire. It's here, though. It's here somewhere. And then if not, you have it on your computer screen. See? So I have it here. So I'll do, see that? There it is. It's in your computer too, somewhere. All right, let's get this crazy shit out. Look at just forever. Woo! All right, enough of that madness. All right, guys, with that all said, one more comment. I see Eric Craig in here. Hey, Eric, good to see you. Saunders Clark you're going to be our last comment, barring a super chat, of course. Wait, if you type in fire, does it do it that way too? Maybe it does it that way too. For me, makes me look like this. Clown. Okay. Gronkowski, Jennifer. Thank you. That's who it was. When Gronk, I used to want to say Janikowski. When I was talking about the retirement, Gronkowski was retired. When he came to the Bucs, he was technically still under contract with the Patriots, so they just re-signed him. I mean, they had to give him a pick. The Bucs did. Saunders says this is the ideal situation for the Jets. Zach can sit for 1 to 2 years and grow. Jets maximize youth movement. Now with Rodgers, if Zach progresses, he could be a 10-year franchise guy. Happy for him. That's it. That's best case scenario. That's best case scenario. Turn into fire, doesn't turn into fire. So, yeah, it's ideal. You got Hackett. We have an experienced staff. Look, we tried it. The Greg Knapp thing threw whatever we were doing into the wind. They tried to get around it. It didn't work, right? It just didn't work. It is what it is, right? It didn't work for us. But now we have an experienced staff. They have experience developing quarterbacks. They made Blake Bortles look good, and he's shit, right? He's worked with numerous quarterbacks. We have an experienced staff, plus Aaron Rodgers likes Zach. They're friends. You know what I mean? Like they're good relationship. So whatever benefit that can be, he's there. He'll show him how to do stuff. And you take the stress off him. He doesn't have to come into, be the hero. And then just slowly but surely get your wits back about you. It's not about his talent, man. It's not. It's the yips. It's all up here. So I agree. Jennifer, what I was saying was I was talking about, he asked me if Leo asked if Aaron Rodgers could just retire and then come back and just sign with us. And I was explaining no, because he's still in the contract, and I was using recent examples. The most recent example was Gronkowski and then Bruce Arians, both of who were with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's what I was saying. There you go. Phil's in. Did you do a fire? Where's the fire emoji, Phil? Do it. Let's see. Phil, I'm on tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. 8 p.m. Thursday, thick of it. We have Boy Green coming on at 9 o'clock tonight. We'll be on from 8 to 10 or so. We usually stay late. We did 5 hours last week. Holy shit. We'll see. If there's any big news or something, we'll stay on. But that's where we are. We are going to be starting the show, me and Gunny and Jeremy and Wat2K and everybody, 8 p.m. right here. And then we will have Boy Green on as a guest tonight and see what he thinks as well. Leo, last comment here. GreenBean, not sure if you sent out the shirt. I did send it out, buddy. It's out. I sent it out when I emailed you. It'll get there. Let me know if it's not there in a couple of days. Let me know. I tracked it. It said it was on its way. I did it. I'll track it today. I'll see where it is for you, bud. Thank you for the super chat. All right, guys. Well, hey, where's the fire emoji? There it is, Phil. Okay, we can't close it out, and Phil's got it. There you guys got it. We got it. There you go. All right. Good job, Phil. Everybody's happy now. We're all good. There's Phil Adams. We're going to give away the Jets Jack tonight on the show. And it's all happening, guys. It's all happening. Don't forget to like the video on your way out if you haven't already. And let's see what we got here. I got to get a regular outro. But let's see. I'm just going to pick one. Here we go. Do this one. So, guys, have a great day. I'll see you tonight. Thursday, think of it. See you later. This is when the Colts had Peyton Manning waiting there because he didn't come out the year before because Parcells, our brilliant head coach, decided not to tell Archie Manning he couldn't guarantee that he would take his kid first. It's just the stupidest thing. History could have been totally different for us, Jets fans. But it's not. And it sucks because Parcells is one of the greatest coaches we've ever had, if not the greatest. So how can you complain? You can't. I hate that prison cell. I hate it. I want to yell. I want to bitch about it. But I can't because Parcells was good. traded back. Got James Farrier and Dedrick Ward out of that one. That's what I think.